So I want you guys to imagine that let's just say you're walking around outside one day and it's pretty bright and sunny outside and you don't really know this, but someone's kind of holding an umbrella over your head. And then you see people around you and they're a little bit more tan, they're a little bit healthy because they're getting this vitamin D from the sun, the melanin is glowing and everything, black don't crack, looking lovely out here. But then you kind of look at yourself and it's like, man, why am I not getting the same type of results? And I'm outside too, but I'm just not getting the same nourishment. I feel like I'm missing out on something. And then at some point, someone kind of like shows you, hey, you have somebody holding an umbrella over your head this whole time that's blocking you from getting 100% of what you can be getting. Then you're like, wow, that's crazy. That is wild. That I've been walking around with this umbrella over my head this whole time. And I feel like that's what a lot of us carry when we're not even fearful of things. We're having other people's fears over us and they're kind of limiting us and holding us back. So I want to ask you, whose fear is the one that's holding you back and limiting you and casting this shadow over you to where you're not maximizing and going fully after who you're supposed to be? I'm pretty sure it's your parents' fears if I had to just take a wild guess. I'm pretty sure your parents were protective of you and wanted the best for you, and they painted it in the color that said protection and safety. But if you really dug a little bit deeper, it was fear. I just think that that's a pretty accurate assessment if I had to just guess. And the funny thing about that is that if you really trace where that fear came from, pretty sure it came from their parents. And it's just like a generational thing of fear being casted down on the next person, or because something happened to them, they believe that they're protecting their child from that dramatic thing happening when it could be a whole different it's like the 2008 crash that happened with the market. Like people really lost a lot in their lives at that point. Similar to 2002 when the whole situation happened with that thing. I mean 2020. Oof, that's I'm tripping. But '08 and in 2020, the situation happened with that. And I feel like a lot of people are now in a mental space to say, man, I'm fearful of this happening again. So now you're going to protect yourself from that fear happening again. If that is like, okay, think about it like this. When you guys are playing in the game and you know somebody got the AI crossover coming at you, they got it in the chamber just locked and loaded, ready to pull it out when need be. You move a little bit different because you don't want to just go out there and get crossed. I mean, everybody, ooh. So now you tell the next guy, "Hey man, watch out, man. That boy got to kill a crossover. She gonna snatch your ankle if you ain't playing right." But now they're coming with a level of fear or anticipation of anxiety to say, "Man, I can't be like that person was and have that fear in my mind. So now I'm moving a little bit more hesitant to not let that be me." When they could have just had a move out the blue that happened. It's not the true game. It just happened. Like they're not a real AI crossover like that for real, for real. They just watched the film one time and they just wanted to pull it out and it just happened. That's not their game. It just happened. But now the next person up is coming with the same fear that the first person cast on them to say, man, I'm not trying to get AI cross up right here. Not trying to be on the next Kyrie highlight right here. Or you're trying to go up to the goal and next, you get pinned and you're like, man, I can't go in there again. So now you tell the rest of your team, like, yo, don't go up in there, man. Big boy trying to block it. But he just feeling good that night, man. He just happened to have that one block. That's his first block the whole season. So I want you guys to like really dig to the root of these fears and run and figure out whose fear is really holding you down and holding you back. I guarantee it's your parents' fears, man. I just sit there and think about that for a minute. Whose fear is the limiting factor on you right now? If it's your fear, trace back to where you got it from, and then trace to where, how, and why that got there, and then eliminate it because more than likely that's just silly stuff that's holding you back. So I want you to really think through and dig through whose fear is that's really messing you up right now. So if it's your parents' fear, talk to them, whatever you need to do, but that fear should not be your fear because it just doesn't make sense to be fearful of something, especially if it hasn't happened. So trace through whose fear is this? Is this really my fear? Is this my parents' fear? Is my grandparents? Is it my auntie, uncle, sister, cousin, bro? Whoever's fear this is, figure out the root of this fear then go conquer it because you can do anything and everything if you truly want to, man. But you don't want to put the work in and do it. That's the only question. That's the real question there. Like, are you feel of the rejection that can happen for putting the work in? That's the real question here. But anyway, man, that's enough of this, man. Just really trace back whose fear is it really? Is it your fear or is it your parents' fear? Is it somebody else's fear they put on you? So don't let your goals and dreams be capped off by somebody else's fear. I rather you not get there off of your own mistakes and off of your own lack of something than someone else be in the way. But that's it, man. My time's been up and I'm just rambling on here now. But that's enough of this hoop gems, man. See y'all next time. Hey, relax. It's okay. Listen, I understand that your goal is so big that it just feels daunting. It just feels overwhelming. Like you trying to get to the NBA, you trying to get to WNBA, you trying to play D1 college ball. I understand. Sometimes that feels like a lot. But listen, you're not gonna make that jump from now tomorrow to be to the league or be in D1. So let's just slow down and focus on the whole journey. Enjoy where you're at right now, but don't get too comfortable. You have to still keep working. You still have to make some type of progress and still keep growing. All you gotta do is think about this. If the minimum I can do today is get 1% better, you winning. Because there are some people gonna take a step backwards. There are some people that's gonna stop and just be equal. But technically you're not gonna be equal because I'm getting better than you, so it means you fell backwards now. And so you gotta get 1% better. Because it's a slow grind from where you're at now to where you want to get to. You don't have to worry about taking over the world in one day. Just take over step by step, one piece at a time, 1% better. It's a whole journey. Okay, you got this goal that's just hanging over you, weighing you down. But this goal, the end destination, it's not gonna change. So you have to appreciate the journey and taking steps to get there. You're a marathon runner, but the whole marathon is about focusing on that next step. So I need you to go ahead and look at whichever one you want. You can get this one of the other ones. But I need you to get this reminder for you. Get you a hoodie, a t-shirt, whichever one, as a reminder that progress is my only goal. And progress don't mean I'm perfect. Progress don't mean I'm there. Progress means I'm getting better. Because better and better adds up to being the best you that you can be. But the best is not existing because you're always going to get better. So get you this peaceful reminder right here to say, hey, all I gotta do is be a little bit better, 1% better, and I'll get to that goal at some point. So remember, it's about the entire journey and not just the end goal, because progress is the only goal.